This video is sponsored by the gaming app Arcade. Every week you can win up to $1,000 by taking part in various beauty pageants. Download today to receive 3,000 cash to join any category of your choice. You can download Arcade from Google Play Store.
Hi kings and queens, and welcome to another session with Asian Queen. And today we are talking about the psychology of a dreamer. So as our case study, we have three Nollywood celebrities. We have Stella Damasus, then we have Daniel Ademinokan, and then we have Doris Simeon. All three of these people are connected because Daniel used to be married to Doris and today he is married to Stella. Finding information about Doris and Daniel was kind of difficult because their marriage happened in a time where, social media was not very active yet. So there wasn't like a lot of information coming on, like for example, their pictures on Instagram or other blogs or Twitter or whatever. So I had to do a little bit of digging to find out the dates and what happened in their marriage. Hopefully I got it right, but if I didn't, please feel free to tell me in the comment section. So from my findings, Doris and Daniel met in 2005 on the set of a movie and they started dating, and then in 2008 they had a son called David. They also got married in that 2008 but got divorced in 2013. Stella, on the other hand, had been married before. I think she had two previous marriages before getting to know Daniel. Her first marriage was with Jaye Aboderin from 1999 to 2004, and she had two daughters with him. Her marriage to Jaye ended because he died, and she was a widow for like 5 years until she got married in 2009 to Emeka Nzeribe. The marriage only lasted 6 months. In 2011, she started dating Daniel Ademinokan. Now let's look at it. So Daniel divorced from Doris in 2013, but he started dating Stella in 2011. Now Stella says that she never ever broke Daniel's marriage. She is not an intruder, she is not a husband snatcher, she is not a homebreaker. She says that Daniel's marriage with Doris was already over when she and Daniel met and started, connecting. And it would seem that this is correct. According to an insider, Daniel and Doris were having issues in their marriage. They were practically living like strangers in the house. They didn't have any physical contact. So I'm inclined to believe that, yes, even though, from the outside and officially, Doris and Daniel were still a couple, they were no longer a couple, inside the house. And it makes sense that if Daniel was no longer getting that kind of connection and emotional relationship that he had with his wife, he would seek it somewhere else, especially when the marriage had already broken down, even before they announced to the world that it has broken down. So there is something that Shalom Lester always says, that people don't just wake up and divorce. Before people get to the point where they divorce, it means that the marriage has not been working for at least a couple of years. And given that Daniel met Stella in 2011 and that he divorced from his previous wife in 2013, so with just a difference of 2 years, it makes sense that indeed that their marriage has stopped working even before they got to the point where they said, okay, let's officially go separate ways. While I was researching for this topic, I got information that made me think that indeed Daniel is a dreamer and that he is a romantic type. If you don't know who a dreamer is, just think of Jeff Bezos and his marriage to Mackenzie. He was married to this woman for more than a decade, and then he divorced her to be with his mistress. And it wasn't just a fling that he had with this mistress, it was a deep connection. He wrote poems for this other woman. He was smitten by this other woman. A dreamer is not a player. A dreamer is not a cheat. A dreamer is not even a polygynist. A dreamer is a person, man or woman, who seeks a deep connection with their partner. So when a dreamer steps outside of their relationship or their marriage, it means that they are just no longer interested. And if they find someone that can offer them this deep connection, you will know very well that it is real. It is not something superficial. it is something that they actually want and will hold on to for as long as they can. These people are extremely romantic. So from what I found out during my research, it would seem that Daniel is the kind of person who likes PDA, public display of affection. He's the kind of man that wants to hold you, wants to kiss you, wants to play around the house with you. He's a very emotionally expressive person. And Doris wasn't that kind of person. She's not the kind of person that likes to be kissed, held, constantly saying romantic words. No, they just weren't compatible from this point of view. So it makes sense that on the long run, and with the arrival of a child that furthermore, got her attention and distracted her from her relationship with her husband, that they will get to a point where things no longer worked between the two of them. There is a saying that goes, once a cheat, forever a cheat. Well, it could be true, but not in this case. If a dreamer cheated on you with a woman, it doesn't mean that the dreamer will cheat on that woman with another woman. That woman might be his last bus stop. She might be the one that he was looking for all his life. And now that he found her, he would never do anything to jeopardize that relationship. When a dreamer leaves a previous relationship to start a new one, you can rest assured that nothing will make him or her go back to that previous relationship. Once they leave, they leave. Yes, the actions of a dreamer can hurt the person they are currently with, because indeed it is hurtful to know that your husband has fallen in love with another woman. But the husband didn't do this out of wickedness. He didn't do it out of spite. He's not doing it because he wants to control or he wants to compensate. He did it because he just connected with this other woman. He is a human being who made mistakes. He is not a bad person. He's a decent person. And in this new relationship, he's going to give his all and his best to this new woman. Sometimes we like to think of the fact that if someone hurt us, it's because they hate us, they don't like us, or just because they are wicked. It is not necessarily so. Relationships are complicated. Relationships are, they kind of put human beings on trial. They push you to make tough and difficult choices. There is no nice way to tell a person that you are leaving them because you are no longer in love with them, or that you are leaving them because they cannot give you what you want and that you are not happy. But it is something that the one that is being left has to come to deal with. Because indeed, if you like someone, if you love someone, you have to prioritize their happiness. And if your husband or your wife's happiness, is about being with someone else who can truly care for them and love them in the way that they want to be loved, and also accept to be loved in a way that they want to love, so the most sensible thing and the most humane thing to do is to let go. The situation among Doris, Daniel, and Stella is particular. Doris doesn't feel like Stella broke down her marriage because Doris knew what was happening behind closed doors. Perhaps she was just hoping that, she and her husband could resolve the issues at some point. But then he met this other woman and he decided that he was no longer interested. It was just a matter of, you ruined my chances of mending fences with my husband. But at the same time, I cannot hold you responsible for it, because if my husband had not made the decision to quit, you couldn't have made him quit. Because indeed, you cannot blame the other woman, for breaking your marriage. The choice to leave the marriage is on your husband. He alone has that power. I always say that people cannot be snatched. People can only be kidnapped, or people can only be manipulated. So in this case, it's either you say that Stella manipulated Daniel to quit his marriage, or you admit that Daniel was through with the marriage and just found in Stella what he had been looking for all along. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section, if you agree or disagree. It's a tough situation, but we wish all of them good luck. And I will see you next time to discuss another topic. See you now. Bye bye.